all of these episodes from season 1, they've been about a different part of brand strategy. Like I've targeted just one single part, and there's like an entire freaking episode about it.
Rue, start the show! I'm Beatrice, your badass branding strategy girl, and welcome to the Art of Branding Badassery podcast. Rue expects your best branding game. You don't want to miss out on 95% of your audience, do you?
I am not as pretty as Beatrice, but my voice, if you close your eyes, I can be. It's magic. The Art of Branding podcast have our guest today, flipping the script, the badass babe of branding strategy. None other than Beatrice Gesundheit. This is your opportunity to shine. This is important because we're nearing the end of the first season, and we've had a hell of a journey together doing this podcast, teaching everything, literally everything they need to know about branding strategy. No pressure, Beatrice. Welcome.
I feel like it might help if you didn't pronounce my surname as a sneeze.
That's not how you pronounce it?
No, it's like good and connections, right? Gutknecht.
It's that easy. But try to take my last name, and it's either Drown, Druin, Brown, Brown, Dune. I don't know where they come up with this stuff. It seems so simple yet so complicated. People are funny, aren't they?
I feel like people would have more trouble with your first name than your last name.
They do, especially people that like to turn J into a Y, which is apparently half the world that I've learned. That's fun. I don't mind it. They're trying to be polite. It's fine. It's better than Eli because that reminds me that I should be, it's not. It's nice. I don't have the T-shirts that are white with no sleeves and kind of stains on them. That's what it reminds me of. So I don't know. That's just a visual thing for me. I don't know. What do you think? Weird?
I have no idea about that reference, like not even in the slightest.
People don't always get the idea of branding strategy either. They just think you can put some graphics, slap them together, say some F-bombs, and woo, I have a strategy. That's all it is, right? Piece of cake.
I should have brought the bat today. Should have brought the bat. Like
I got a duck.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, what? No. God. And then there's like the brand, like people who are putting themselves out there as, I'm a brand strategist. But are you though? Are you just doing logos and saying that you're a brand strategist? Really? Brand strategy is the perception and how you influence that perception. And that logo, those words even, are one of the last few things that you focus on. You focus on building out that inside. Pull out what's your real differentiation inside. Like, what's your why, your vision, your mission, differentiation, checking out what's going on in the market, like not just looking at your client, like ideal clients. Because a lot of people only just check that. It's also having a look, okay, what are my competitors doing? Like keeping an eye on what they're doing and what is actually going on in the market landscape. So say, for example, you take a brick and mortar business, right? You want to open a restaurant and you pick a slum to open a fine dining restaurant. You think about like the location, you think about the economical situation, the political, the religious, etc. Like anything that comes to effect, and then differentiate. Then you can get to your messaging, your graphics, your story.
But if I put soul food truck in that alley, in that Rufford part of neighborhood, that's what people go for. They need the soul food, the feel good stuff. They're willing to pay $10-$20 to get that feel good memory. And if you know branding strategy, you just pop in there and go.
Exactly. I mean, if you put something on the front of that soul food truck where you know that those people will resonate with, like maybe it's like a Looney Tunes character or like something that they watched as like children. They're like, that adds to, you get that warmth from the food.
Yeah.
But then you're associating to like that childhood warmth.
Right. I turn into a street party. I get people dancing up on the just random people come up, dance on the roof. You have these bumping speakers, and you're just having a good time. Forget where the hardships that people have. And if you understood branding strategy enough, you just have a sweet street party, have some decent food, throw some drinks around, and be a good time.
Exactly. I mean, let's think about these massive brands like Nike, or they don't talk about the shoes in their ads. It's the feelings.
Even Lego is doing these epic videos now and this content where they're just these crazy stuff where they're getting adults want to play with the Lego again in the office. They're saying, what are these kids doing? This kind of weird, this inappropriate. HR feelings are, not warm and fuzzy. It's uncomfortable. And then they go play. And that's really the magic. That's what everybody does at home. The adults are truly playing with these glorious kits like this Harry Potter, The Simpsons, or whatever, this nostalgic feel. And now we're all just kind of being big kids. And that's the epic thing. But they never talk about the pieces or the bricks or the quality. You just know. And that's the magic of brand strategy.
It's crazy. Like, a lot of people will come to me and then they start off with like what you just mentioned, the quality, the features, the benefits. And it's like, that's not really your differentiation. Your fellow down the street is going to say the exact same thing. He can.
Do those big brands like Nike, Lego, McDonald's, and Prada, if you will, do they fulfill or follow societal norms? Or do you think those big corporate brands actually follow their own path to get ahead and stand out?
I think they follow into the human psychology. To me, that is a different level of powerful. And you're going into that, it's like childhood kind of vibes, those things that we resonated with before we had like all these worries and stresses.
Oh, yeah.
Like just adulting, all these like adulting vibes. Before all of that was like those moments that can trigger us in a big way. Like Pokemon, they're still freaking famous as heck because they've used so many different touch points. They've got the app, they have the TV series, they have the trading cards. Like they've done so many different things, and it resonates to different generations. I mean, like even the kiddie movies, like Disney and whatever, there'll still be like some down low jokes which are like adult friendly, if that makes sense. Adult friendly for while you're there with your little annoying thing. I mean, 5-7-year-old kid. And it appeals to both audiences. So those big brands, they're taking it to the next level. They're not looking at, hey, these are the features, these are the services, these are the benefits, etc. They're going down to the psychology of it. They're like, you know what? Screw this. Like, that's what this person's doing. Let's not.
Well said. How do you think the podcast that you've started, The Art of Branding, has influenced people to start their own business, to take their business to the next level? Or do people just not get it yet? Are you at a level so deep into the branding game that people really need time to absorb all that information?
I see a big difference. I see a big difference when, from when I first started posting to now. People have a very good idea of what to expect from the brand strategy game. Yes, there's still quite a few people that they come in with not the right, like they come in, do you do content strategy? Like, is your stuff like socials, or is your stuff like, oh, can you do like, I don't know, the graphics? And it's like, well, no, it's not related. And then it's again that explaining of it. But
would you help people with that? It's kind of like me thinking, okay, I'm going from audio podcast to video podcast. It's not my specialty, but should I learn that skill to help people, to give them a complimentary package? Or should Beatrice just do her branding strategy and then hone in on that and leave the content and extras to someone else?
Because there is so much to it, you're diving in really deep. Like each stage takes a while, because you're not just scratching the surface. If you want something that really resonates, so you have a look at my LinkedIn profile, for example. Everything consistently vibes with badassery from the very top to the bottom. Like the content, how it's worded, the way that it's consistent is because there's been time to really define each part. And that's why it's important for me. Like if somebody does want that graphic side, I'll work with people that I trust, that I know that they provide that quality service. I mean, yes, I've done logos, I've done that graphic side, but I would rather get you to work with somebody who, like, that's what they live and breathe. I live and breathe brand strategy. Like I can talk for like hours about different aspects of it, about disrupting the industry, about differentiating. I want somebody who can do that for your logos, for example, or for your graphics. Yes, like shit, like I've had 10, 12 plus years of marketing experience. So yes, I can also give suggestions. And I do put that as a part of how I work with people. So like every session, there'll be actionable points like, hey, look, you can go and do that with your profile, or have a look at this in your content, because I get the content game and I get that on several different profiles, how to make that work. But if you want me to specialize that, then that's for a different party. That's why, there's ghostwriters, there's copywriters, there's content marketers, there's brand strategists, there's a lot of different areas in what a lot of people just like, this is marketing, and then put all of it under that.
Marketing and brand strategy seems to involve a long game and effort for people. You have to really sink your soul into it. But for when you found out that you lost a loved one traveling, an pivotal moment in your life, how did that make you feel? What happened when your dad passed, when you're traveling and you go, now what, in your entrepreneurial career? You're just starting out, right? Doing your thing, shifting to entrepreneur, or was it, it seemed like it was an important time in your life?
That was before, actually. I was in Myanmar, and I was in my last job where I was a COO of a startup e-commerce SaaS company, the one where I put everything together, the branding, the marketing, the HR, finance, everything. Got an amazing 2-week campaign out there where we got like US 41K over those 2 weeks, just being that, having that differentiation and understanding a little bit of that local side. But that had just been put out, and one day it was a weekend, and I'm calling my dad as usual, and he's not picking up the phone. And long story short, like this I guess almost stranger at that time, he's talking to me. Finally, like they got the address from my dad's apartment from me, and then went in there and found him, and he's talking to me, like telling me this, and like asking me questions, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm just like holding it all in. He's like, I don't know how you're still on the phone, but I need to hang up and cry. And I'm like, cool, because me too. But a week after that was the military coup in Myanmar. So I was on the phone with then strangers to go through my dad's apartment and see what's to keep, what's to donate, etc. And it was rough. Like, I felt like he was alone, and I felt guilty for that for a while, until I went to Chiang Mai where he was staying finally half a year later, I guess, by the time I made it there and everything. Met these people, and they had all these amazing stories that only people that somebody would have, right?
Were you not that close at the time?
My dad and
Yeah.
he was my everything.
Yeah.
Like, to me, whatever I earned, it was like to make him have a happy life. I was the one that after my mom passed away, that convinced him, move to Chiang Mai, move to Thailand. You can live really well. You don't need to think about how much money you have, to think about how often in a week you can go out, right? I wanted him to be happy, and that was all. That was everything for me. And I don't know, I guess, being an only child, you kind of put this wall there, and you're like, okay, I need to deal with all these things. I need to tackle everything before I can even feel whatever I need to feel. Even think about what that feeling is, right?
Did he go through pain when he passed? Was he happier when he reached that other side, if you will? Is that why you're kind of crying on the phone? Obviously, it's a big deal if he's your sounding board, he's your everything. But was it pain or something that he was suffering through, or did it just kind of happen? Surprise, and off he goes.
He had issues for a while, to swallow, and he kept. I'd call him sometimes, and I'd be like, to check on him, that sort of thing. Call him every week, and sometimes I'm like, oh, what's going on? He's like, I'm in hospital. I'm like, why did you not tell me this? So angry, and going through his stuff later on, I'd see that he was at the hospital a lot. And it was obviously something that he just wasn't telling me. Even I yelled at him. I was like, just I asked him, so what are the doctors saying? Can you tell me exactly what it is? And he's like, oh, I don't know. And I'm like, put me on the phone with the doctor.
It's a typical dad thing to do, right? He's too proud. Just make sure his daughter's okay. This little girl always will be, right? Even in another life. But yeah, did that do anything for you? Come from within your gut, your emotional being, to kind of push you to the next level, to get you into the art of branding and badassery that you're into now?
I think that's a combination of both, my mom passing away and my dad passing away.
It's rough. Yeah.
So my mom passed away, I think it's about 6-7 years ago now. We weren't as close. Like I said, my dad was my everything. The reason why I'm as, I guess, okay as I am, and I still think about him every fucking day, and I just wish he was here. But with her, it wasn't as close. But I have regrets. I have a written letter from her to one of my exes, that time, and she was begging them to get me to talk to her. And yeah, that never really had that closure. And since then, it's kind of just been at that time, I was like, you know what? We're only here once. And if something comes up, which is not going to kill me, and I'm there's a little part of me that is a little part that's yes, I'll say yes, I'll do it. Same thing as what happened, for the podcasting, all these sort of things. That's when it started. And Badassery was okay. Yes, my father passed away. I dealt with that. That was a while. Like I even went to the US, took 2.5 months to drive across, just work through everything like that and the military coup, like seeing people's faces there, like all the opportunities that had grown over 10 years in their eyes just gone in a blink of an eye. And I can leave. They can't leave. So it's like, it's not just my dad passing away. It's like
It's everything.
it's everything. And it hurt. It really, really hurt and hurt. Like I met with a friend like a month ago who she was there for me on the day that my dad died. Like I sent her a picture of a tequila bottle and I'm like, I'm gonna drink this. And like next thing I know, her and another friend are at my door bringing like snacks and food and they're like, okay, let's drink. I will never forget. Like they were there for me because it's being an only child. There's not really there's nothing.
Especially in Thailand, you're so far away, or even the States, so far away from anything that resembles home, and your parents are gone.
That was only Myanmar. That was in Myanmar. Like when I found out that happened.
Right. And there's you in the bottle, and you need a friend, or else it can go south pretty quick, right? You can dip into you dip into those feelings, and it's easy to get caught up in that, and you just sink. But you have the courage to pull out of that, and you have your friends and trusted people to drink with you and have a pajama party or whatever it is you do. Hit each other with pillows and talk about boys. I don't know. Just forget about it and just have fun.
But yeah, so after I left Myanmar, then it was just pretty much going out on my own kind of thing, and
just living life. It's like Hangover 3 style living life, like just go out, just flip the script 180, or did you kind of have some wits about you?
I just wanted some semblance of a base. I spent a few months traveling. Like I left Myanmar, came to Thailand, did like 2 weeks quarantine, whatever. Went to Switzerland directly, scattered my dad's ashes, came back here, went up to Chiang Mai to like visit those people, then went to the US, traveled there. And it's like, it was so long just traveling. I just needed some kind of strength. And the only reason I chose Thailand is because like I had been here frequently, being in Myanmar. And to the rest of the world, it is incredibly accessible. It's like, it's super easy, right? Yeah. And that's why, I'm here. It's not because, hey, it's tropical, it's pretty, it's everything. No, like there's nobody for me here. There was. Now I have friends, obviously, right? But there was nothing. And I just needed something, like just a place, just something, because everything else was just falling apart. And so I spent a year job hunting after that. And because like it was also that time where the big corporations are letting go of like VP levels, etc. And they were like applying for my job, like the jobs that I was applying for. And they're like, well, there's a VP applying for a director level job and they're like willing to take the cut. And I'm like,
that's competitive.
It's fine, right? So, it got close to that 1 year mark and I was like, you know what? Let's do this. I'm already out in the middle of the freaking ocean. Let's just do this. Just keep going forward. And then, stepped into Badassery. It was both passing away. It's like, just that, like, you know what? Like, this is where you're at. You will only live once and live for each day. Don't be like, you know what, I'm going to save until like I'm 60 something to do something. You don't know, you don't even know your body's condition at that time.
True. How do you move past the regrets and the what ifs and the history to say, hey, I'm just going to keep pushing forward into the unknown? Was it easy?
To me, like the way that I work through things is by talking to people, not talking to people as in for their advice. It's just talking.
Yeah. Just
So
sounding
like,
boards.
yeah, exactly. So I'll just talk and say whatever I'm feeling. Like, so a big part of like how I, improved in working through emotions, right? I told you before that even recognizing whether I'm upset or not was a thing. Was saying, okay, I feel, say, for example, I feel angry. All right. Why do I feel angry?
Ooh.
And then it's never that first thing either. It's never like, okay, I feel angry because of this. No, what is it really? And then I'll work through that. And that's how I work through everything. Like, yeah, I may be alone, but like just having at least, a person to just talk. Like, don't try to give me advice like that. Like, I am more than capable of doing my own shit, but just to talk. And I know that's different for everybody, but that's what works for me.
So I've totally failed at this mission. When you talk at me, I was like, I have advice. I love giving opinions. I'm also an only child. And I was told growing up that what I say matters. And this mysterious fact has only been come to fruition or falsehood recently. And I think you've helped me get there. So that's nice. We can work together to figure this out.
There's a difference between trying to fix something and being like, okay, I know about this, this, and this. That's more like you're adding to, these are the things that I've thought of, but hey, like, how about this, this, and this? It's not like, choose this. It's like, oh, there's this also. And I've seen this information about this.
While people are trying to fix you, do they try to put you into a 10-year plan to figure out, Beatrice, you need to follow societal norms, which they clearly don't know you that well, disrupting, hello, but 10-year plan. Does that drive you nuts? Do you have one? Have you had life figured out?
Or fuck no.
Just
Like,
living in the moment? Yeah.
I have a general idea. And to me, that's important. Like, you don't want to have like no idea about what's going to happen in the future. I know that that's how some people do live their lives. They're just like just now, and that's it. I have a general idea, but I'm not going to do a 5-year plan or 10-year plan because you don't know what is going to change in that time or what's going to work out and what's not going to work out. How many times do you want to keep on changing that 5-year plan and 10-year plan?
Every day? Could.
Yeah. Then you
Too
rather
much?
just live like there's only so many hours in a day, right? Do you want to use those hours to change your 5-year and 10-year plan, or do you want to use it being where you are now and trying to push where you're at now forward?
You'd have time to see a beach for once in your life, being in Thailand. Like, hello, I don't know why you don't. You're busy doing your business, being grounded. I'm like, there's a beach right there, Beatrice. Enjoy it.
You and everybody in my life. Everyone's just like, just take a break. And I'm like, no.
No, I got things to do. Like, hello.
Priorities.
I got dreams and shit, Like, let's make this happen.
And that's the problem. Like, I see a lot of people out there, and so many creators talk about this. People say, like, I've been posting for a month. I've been posting for 3 months. And I'm like, it's not fucking enough. It's not enough. You need to be there. Like, I spend hours every single day, except for Sundays now, every single day, mainly because somebody forced me because I burnt out too many times. Every single day working on this.
Even the bloopers you put effort into, all the social content, the fun stuff, the entertaining stuff, the things that really grab people. I'm sure that didn't happen overnight.
No, I mean, like, if I look at my content from even like 3 months, 5 months ago, there's a difference in quality even then. Like, it's always, don't just have one style and stick to it. That's not how you're going to improve. Even what people respond to. And I saw somebody post about this. has changed. So hook lines, what used to trigger people, and this was like, I don't know, a year ago, it was not even that long ago, had like steal my something for something, right? That worked. Now that doesn't work anymore. People will not like click see more on that post.
Yeah, they're over it.
Yeah. And so if you didn't adapt,
those, maybe another episode, we can get into those trends that people gravitate towards. I'm not loving that. The societal norms of social media, right? It's whatever. Just do your own thing. It's fine. Be brave enough to have a sentence that's yours. Not stealing stuff. You're not stealing my stuff because you probably don't understand how I communicate. Like that, it'd be so weird that you stand out. People like, I don't even know how to copy this. It's random. That's the magic.
Exactly. Like I talk about taking influence from other things, but it's not like copying them, right? It's like, okay, yes, this idea exists, and every idea already exists out there. There's nothing original, but your perspective on it, for example, like Cinderella brand strategy, slam it together. How Cinderella did brand strategy.
She may not have cleaned up the place. She may not have. She might have her own path. You don't know. It's whatever spin you put on it.
Exactly. They weren't actually like diamond slippers or whatever. Like they changed size. So they fit perfectly at the beginning and then they changed size and then one of them fell off.
That's Disney's fault. I'm going official. It's Disney's fault.
Totally Disney's fault.
So you always ask people an inspirational question, but I'd really love to ask you, what do you hope that will happen to change people's lives from the podcast? Art of Badass Branding. Yours. How do you hope that people their lives will change? Do you hope that an aha moment will change? Or do you just hope that they're entertained and hear a curse word and something entertaining? What are they going to get out of this? Is it magic? Is it inspiration? Is it life-changing experience in their business?
No, I mean, to me, it's important that if somebody's listening, they should be getting some kind of value or lesson or be inspired to do something different, right? It's, okay. Like if there's entertainment in there, that's part of the brand, right? At this point, it's like edutainment is my brand. But I want there to be something that people get out of it. Like that's why I ask the questions in a way that I do. Like, okay, what can people learn from this other person about this part of brand strategy? And that's why, all of these episodes from season 1, they've been about a different part of brand strategy. Like I've targeted just one single part and there's like an entire freaking episode about it.
Yep.
Right.
Drill down, expand on it, just make it a thing.
Exactly. That's how deep brand, like just one topic, brand strategy can be. And that was the reason why I went into this. So people can be like, hey, look, this is a little bit of an overview. Like if I listen through this season, I'll have an idea of like, okay, these are things that I can work on with my brand strategy before I start working with B. Like, hey, look, these are the things that I can try to fix my own. Like if you have the time to go through, adjust, like it takes a lot of time to figure it out because like same as like a wine bottle or whatever, you can't see what's on the outside of that wine bottle from the inside. But at the same time, from the outside, you can't taste what is inside that bottle. So you need those two people. Like same things why coaches hire coaches. Because they also, it's like difficult to see within yourself.
So the moral of the story is listen to the 20 plus episodes, understand what you need to learn, and then go find Beatrice. The link's in the description, or the 12-week program if you want. Just hang out and be prepared to dig deep.
Exactly.
That sounds badass to me.
Awesome. Hell yeah. Let's sew up.